up on the podcast, we have got one of my favorite producers at the moment. We got him in last minute to remix one of the biggest tracks on Dirtbox Recordings of last year. This was by Beska. It was the Star Wars theme release. I believe it's pronounced Mount Erenakos. I always get it wrong. Anyway, Ben Cooper, aka Konetix. Ben, how you doing, mate?
Doing good, thank you. Yeah, just been working away, but doing good.
Brilliant.
Feeling happy.
Well, thank you for taking your time to have a quick chat with us today about your remix for the 50th release and also see what's going on as well. So whereabouts are you based, Ben?
North London, northwest London. Yeah, grown up here all my life. So I was between here and Brighton for a while, but I'm just back in London now.
Brilliant stuff. So I've only seen rumblings of you over the last couple of years out of lockdown. How long have you been producing drum and bass for?
I've been producing for about 4 or 5 years, but things only really got moving for me during lockdown when I recorded a mix with Skibbity, and he then put me in touch with some of the friends who I have now, and that kind of kick-started me to get the ball rolling a lot more.
Brilliant. Well, what an entry into drum and bass, the one and only legendary Skibbity, bringing it to the forefront. And obviously me and you got talking early last year through a mutual friend as well, DJ Fantasy, didn't we? What's your relationship with him, and what do you do with good old Steve?
Well, yeah, I met Fantasy through Skibber, and then do you know what, Fantasy's just been kind of a solid point of good friendship, of like giving me good feedback on my tunes and helping me to make sure I'm creating the right vibes, and yeah, just kind of helping me along the way as much as possible.
He does have that kind of mentor kind of role, doesn't he, in drum and bass? He takes a lot of people under his wing, and he seems to be helping people make connections in a really good way, like us too, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he's a very, very knowledgeable man, so.
And sorry, say that again.
I said rightfully so.
Rightfully so, yeah, absolutely. So you've got your own imprint as well. I know we've been obviously chatting about some stuff for Dirtbox, but tell us a little bit about your own label.
Yeah, so kind of in the latter part of last year, maybe at the start of last year, actually, I launched Melted Face Recordings, Melted Face Records. Obviously, the name has come from the idea of putting out face melters, as they say.
Screw face.
Heavy bassy tunes, exactly. But yeah, do you know what, for me it's just been that pillar of creative freedom where I can make something, design the artwork myself, make the tunes how I like them, put them out on my own schedule. And for me, I found it really, really useful. Just it has no boundary for me. Jump Up, Liquid, there's a whole array of things coming out. Obviously I had the full vocal tune with the Wiser and P Money. And yeah, there's loads of different things coming out on there. I think I've got a 140 dubstep tune coming out on there. So there's plenty.
Yeah, it's definitely doing some bits. I mean, obviously for the name that you would expect a big face pumping jump up track, you've had Liquid releases on there and things like that as well. So are you very open to just kind of, putting stuff out there, and if it sticks, run with it?
100%. Yeah, Melted Face Records is kind of getting to a point now where I want it to be able to open the door for other newcomers like myself who maybe don't have a platform where they can have full creative input and design their own artworks and put out whatever they feel at the time. It's kind of just like no barriers, and for me that's what I love about it so much. So brilliant. It's cool.
Well, you've obviously had some good success of late as well, especially with your own music and doing stuff on other labels. But one of the things I do like, if you can pinpoint something that you're doing right, you've taken a lot of the aspects of what should be done now. I mean, for example, Spotify, they're big on collaborations. You've just took the ball and ran with that and gone with as many collaborations as possible. Like you said, you've done tracks with Wiser, P Money. We've got another one coming up very soon as well, a huge collaboration you've got. Is this something that you're going to have more focus on this year? And can you tell us any more collaborations you've got in the pipeline?
Yeah, no problems. Collaboration for me is like the key to learning and having fun with it. You make friends along the way. I've actually got a tune with another grime rapper coming out in April called Tommy B. He's up and coming grime rapper. He's absolutely wicked. There's some yeah, there's a whole load of more drum and bass stuff coming out. Me and Ben Snow worked on a new tune. I believe me and Harley D are getting back in the studio. Me and Akuna over in Brazil, we've just started something. So yeah, there's plenty to come. Yeah, the next collab, the big one, is coming out very soon, but we'll keep that as a surprise. So,
well, this podcast ain't coming out till the end of March.
Okay, so then my latest release was the DRS and Fantasy collab. So brilliant, that would have been out by then.
By now.
by now, yes.
by now. Excellent stuff. So definitely lots in the pipeline for you, and obviously just a bit of background for people watching. I actually helped to manage Ben's label as well, which is, again, it's been a pleasure obviously working with you on this project, Ben, and I definitely see that it's causing some waves. Even more so, obviously, our gig that, well, when people hear this podcast, we will have already played at the SASES residency show at XOYO, where they actually gave your label its own room as well, haven't they?
Yeah, it's really exciting. Do you know what? I'm really honored to have my friends coming down to support and represent Melted Face Records, yourself included. It's quite a nice thing that my brand that I thought of one day in my bedroom is now being supported by SAS, as well as my people that mean a lot. So it's cool. It's nice. I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, it's weird, obviously, talking about this in a sense of moving forward. This podcast obviously live after the gig, but we're a couple of weeks before that gig now already. But yeah. If you're watching this now, go out and check the videos of the SAS residency, and even get you sent a ticket to one of the other shows, because I think you're playing a couple of the shows, aren't you, Ben?
I am. Yeah. There's I'm playing on the 3rd week as well, so it should be good.
Brilliant stuff. So let's get straight into it. What a great entry into having a track on Dirtbox Recordings than actually doing a remix for us. So I've been asking this a lot of the producers, what thought process goes into when you choose a track to remix?
I just think of what's got a vibe, what's got a nice vibe, what's kind of making me get that head bop going, and like when I'm sitting here in the studio, what am I kind of catching a groove on? And yeah, if something comes with that vibe and I start feeling, actually, that would sound really cool like this, then for me, it's just a recipe for success. Success being something that I like and enjoy, you know.
Well, it got shot out on promo and everybody's absolutely fucking loving the remix, as we know. He even got on the Neuropunks channel, didn't it, with Gydra? And yeah, good 40,000 views on that channel, seeing the remix, and the reaction was phenomenal, weren't it?
It was brilliant.
Okay, well, let's have a listen to the track then. This one is Mount Erenakos, and this is the Konetix remix. Brilliant stuff, Ben. Absolute hit in the making. You can all grab this now on the sampler, and it will be out again on the album on April the 5th. So tell us a little bit about the process of putting this remix together. Was it easy? Was it hard? Was there any elements that you really wanted to keep or change?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I wanted to keep the neuro-y vibe to it. It's something that I hadn't really delved into that much before, but I always liked the sound. Always thought it was quite an advanced way of producing, just like the whole neuro side of things. And obviously predominantly I've been doing jump up for a long time, so I thought about maybe fusing the two. So I kept them kind of neuro drum hits and the big respace, and then dropped it into the jump up fusion parts, and yeah, I just had fun with it, really.
Yeah, I think there's a new sound coming out of this as well. I mean, I know a lot of people talk about the neuro jump up, but this is kind of another element of that. And there's another track on the album. We spoke to Sam Glitch City, he's remixed a neurofunk track as well on the album. And yeah, I think there's something with this. Get some jump up producers to remix neurofunk. I think we've definitely got we've got a stab in the dark. We've got making something out of this. But yeah, it's a great remix. Definitely one of my favorite. Definitely one that I've been caning, and a lot of big names are obviously on the back of that as well. So 2024, what does that look like for Konetix and Melted Face Recordings? We know you've got a few collabs in the pipeline. Can you give us any insight, any exclusive, or any gigs or releases you got coming up?
There is some exciting things. I've actually just started a new little role doing songwriting and ghost production and ad production. So there is a lot more to come from that, which we can wait and see what happens and what comes from it. But in terms of Melted Face Records, communal growth is my goal. Get some people involved, try and get as many vocalists and, you know, young producers, experienced producers, and just keep it open.
Well, you've had quite a bit of good success, though, especially with your collaborations, Ben. If there's anybody out there that's just trying to break through as a producer or a DJ in drum and bass, I mean, it's quite a vast answer, this, but what's a couple of the best bits of advice you think you could give people?
Definitely get in the studio with as many people as you can at the start, because you will learn from them and they will learn something from you every time. I get in the studio with people who have just started producing and they show me a little shortcut, and I'm sitting there thinking, how do you know this? Oh, and you know, you can always learn something new. My other piece of advice would be, at the start of your journey, try not to get too attached to your music, because it's in those times where you learn the most, and it's always good to make a song, learn as much as you can from it, and then get straight on with the next song, and just keep making those, you know, those progressive journeys in your music.
That's some good advice, Ben. Obviously, always good to know. And yeah, I mean, if anybody comes to me about collaborations, I'd definitely send them your way with some of the results you've had over the last few years, and some of the hits that you've had on Spotify as well. Some tracks absolutely blew up for you, didn't they?
Yeah, I've had some good streaming results on Spotify and other places. It's good. I would just say the collaborations is the key.
And on the Melted Face side, have we got plenty of releases planned? What about events?
There is plenty of releases planned. In terms of events, obviously we've got the XOYO for a start, the room takeover for the SAS, as you mentioned, which we've just done a couple of weeks back. And yeah, there's a few more things in the pipelines. As you said earlier, it's got some jump up, some liquid. So ideally, I want to try and run a lot of jump up nights, but I want to try and get a couple liquid nights in over the year as well. I've always had a bit of a soft spot for liquid.
There you go. There you go. So last question, I'll let you get on with your afternoon in the studio. So this is a monumental release for Dirtbox Recordings. It's our 50th release, and we've done this in the span of 5 years, celebrating its 5th year of existence this year. What does it mean to you, Ben, to be on a mammoth project like this for a label like Dirtbox?
Absolutely honoured to be involved. It's a great label. It puts out great music. The history is all there, and you know, it feels great to be part of it.
And it's brilliant to actually add you to that list as well. I'm loving that we've actually got you on this LP, and down the line we'll definitely get something in terms of more music featured on there, and maybe do some cross label stuff as well. Who knows?
I'd be up for it.
Exactly. More chats to come. Lovely stuff, Ben. Have a great afternoon in the studio, and I'll catch up with you soon, mate.
Nice one. Thank you.
Cheers, pal.
What's up, everyone? Lee UHF here, the host of DNB Wraps. Thank you for watching our videos. If you like what you're hearing and seeing on the channel, please make sure you're subscribing to it. Please make sure you thumbs up the videos, and more importantly, let's get some comments going as well. It really helps the channel, and in order for us to provide this content to you, we do need the channel to grow. So we can't do this without your help. Hope you enjoy the video. Speak to you soon.